Greetings, greetings. So, all right, so welcome into the food prep area this January, at least by the common calendar. And today in the Q&A, if you have any questions, I'd love to share about making eating plant-based whole living foods really fun, attractive, sustainable, and affordable. So I really like to think that I move like my grandma Lou, right? My grandmothers, where they took one ingredient and they did so many different things with it, which saves a lot of money and really helps you be creative and to be independent of cookbooks or food preparation books. Now, if you're new and you're getting started, it may be a good idea to have a book just so you have an idea of some base recipes. But ideally, you don't want to have to need a book. And eventually, as you become more familiar with eating fresh, whole, living plant foods with the water and the fiber intact, you won't need a food prep book. And you'll be able to be really flexible with whatever you find at the market, right? Which really will help your food bill go down because the foods that are available seasonally are usually going to taste a lot better and the price is going to be a lot lower. So I'm working with what I have today. So today is a really, really rainy day here. And interestingly enough, a farmer was driving by and honked his horn. So he and his family just did a harvest of some corn. So they were still really trying to move it today. And I know that there are quite a few local farmers that can't afford the pesticides. So that was my luck. So I got about 20 ears of corn for $2, right, of local corn. And it's nice and sweet. Just to make sure it's not the corn that they feed to the hens. That's usually really hard, right? I just harvested some cilantro out of my little garden. I have some onions. Cabbage I love because it's a cruciferous vegetable, and it's in the brassica family, so it has a tendency to give off a certain kind of gas. It's really, really wonderful to fortify and nourish your body, make your body really fortified against the things that cause cancer in the body. So it's highly nutritious. Anytime you see these rich, full colors, you know you're getting a lot of nutrition and have a lot of water and fiber. So I'm using everything, every leaf that I can use. I can use this for a purpose. I can use this for a purpose. I'm going to be creative with it. I have some local celery, and these are some pieces of celery as I was cleaning and going through and rotating the fruits and vegetables to make sure nothing is going bad. If should anything go bad because we eat so much produce, I will trim it off and I'll put it in the big compost container that I keep right there so that I can toss it out and rotate that in the soil with some wood chips. So I have some apples. I have some fresh ginger. I'm going to make use of this. And I also have a nice stash of sorrel. So I got a nice big batch of sorrel. I got a really, really good deal on some sorrel. So I'm using beets. Now beets are really, really good for your blood, for iron, to regulate blood sugar, particularly when they're fresh. When I was growing up, I did not like beets. They were from the can. I was like, they're like super duper gross. But actually, I find them quite pleasant when they're fresh and they're whole raw living, and they add a little bit of crunch, a lot of color. They're good for women on their cycle, also for the red blood cells. Beets are really, really good. And when you're using less fats and dressings, beets can have a tendency to balance out your palate, right? So you're getting a bit more sweet in your mouth. And when you balance out all the different flavors in food, you won't be so tempted to use so much fatty dressings, right? Many of us need to cut our fat intake, even some of the good fats, right? A lot of us have a tendency to overdo the oils. So beets and balancing out sweet inside of your recipes and your meals can really help you feel satiated, right? In addition to the water and the fiber and the nutrition inside of the food. So we got corn, cilantro. I sliced up some onions really thin. I'm using this in the recipe. Cabbage. I'm going to use the sorrel. I have some apples, some celery, and I have some ginger. And this is one of my boxes because I like to keep everything secure of like my nice herb stash. Cilantro, palo d'arco, red raspberry, comfrey, lemongrass, which I have some growing outside, I have some tamarind, a little bit of ginseng, some burdock root, which I love. I wish I could grow some burdock here. And I think that's all I have right now in my herbal stash. So I recommend I also have some cinnamon. So I really recommend that folks keep an herbal stash, right, of things like, like they would say your medicine chest, right? So this would be like your juju. So I always keep a nice container sealed. And I like to keep things sealed so that rodents and things don't get in them. And then also from the garden that we grew some nice hot peppers. So these are nice. I love hot pepper, especially when it's chilly. So it's a chilly day here. And you're not eating cooked foods. For those folks that do eat cooked foods, you can use hot pepper, especially if you're in the north. But if you're not eating anything cooked, just in general, the hot pepper is really good for your circulation. My godmother used to tell me in Africa, when she was in Africa, they ate a lot of hot peppers because if you got parasites or bugs in your system, they don't like the hot pepper. But it's really good to have warming foods. And I find that also spice and heat is also something really nice to balance out the flavor in your food. So I got all these goodies in addition to some purple garlic. So I prefer the purple garlic over the white garlic from China. So whenever I can, I like to get the foods with a lot of color in them. So I got some other stuff, but these are the basic things I'm going to be really creative with. I can already think of several different things I'm going to do with these items. And the goal is to keep your food bill down, right? And the food bill, though, is going to be, your bag's still going to be pretty heavy, right? Because you have all this water and fiber, right? The cabbage and the beets and the celery, these things weigh a lot inside your bag. And also that's a good sign that you'll be very satiated with your food. So if you'd like to see what I create and what I come up with, I'm going to post them over on Instagram, on the Instagram page, Body-Culinary. And then also you can see the progress that we're making with the red oak leaf lettuce. The cilantro is coming. It's fantastic. I have a nice, beautiful, full harvest of cilantro. I have lots of chard coming up. I have lots of kale, lacinato, and curly green leaf kale coming up. Loads of oregano, sweet potato greens, nopales or cactus. And then the broccoli is coming up really, really nicely. My cucumbers were doing so well, and then they kind of just went downhill. So, but you learn. So it's really no failure, right? It's really feedback. That's how you really, really learn. If you need to move the plant, did you give too much water? Did not get enough sun? All of this, it's good to be open to learning, right? So do follow Body-Culinary over on Instagram. Hit the bell so that you'll be notified of whenever I upload a new video. Let me know your questions that you have and ideas that you're like, oh, yeah, I'm experimenting with henna. I just did some last night on my feet. So I'm practicing. This I didn't do. Someone did this for me, but I am practicing on my henna. So I'm up to a lot of fun stuff. And be on the lookout. I am going to be formulating a mastermind. So if any of you kindred spirits out there are interested in studying and maximizing your learning time, I'm always fascinated by what motivates us to do what we do and what's our learning style. So, let's really make this year and this season a good time for maximizing the internet and our connections with each other, because I love to share. So I'm up to some things like aerial silks, my yoga practice, language learning and studying. I'm studying a course, making lots of new food. There's some other things, but those are some of the things that I'm up to, in addition, as always, to natural food, being in the garden, definitely, right? So definitely subscribe on Instagram, as well as coming into the food prep area. So if you have any questions, leave them DM below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who you know may benefit, and I'll see you soon. Create a great day.